Good morning, Miss Yvonne. I would like to introduce to you about our activity that we held. First, we were supervised by Child Development Psychology Club. To raise the awareness about the child's right to the general public, we held a sharing section named Learning Through Games. In the sharing section, we had addressed the topic about child maltreatment, such as the types of child abuse, child labor, and child marriage. Besides, we also talk about the prevention of child maltreatment and the date of Prevention Child Abuse Day to raise the awareness about child's rights. So now, Joey, it's your turn.
Now for the awareness group, we did some research on issue in relation to Child Awareness Week. Informational posts such as child abuse and physical abuse, child labor and child marriage had been posted on CDP's Instagram account to raise awareness. Other than that, interactive stories were made to interact with the readers. These stories consist of quizzes relating to the informational post. For example, the hotline to contact when people encounter issue regarding children maltreatment.
So, question 1, our goals. We have held an interactive sessions through Google Meets on 30 March as our aim of having these online interactive sessions is to raise awareness to the public of child's rights. We do create a PowerPoint slide and a small quiz in Quizy of understanding child's right for the interactive sessions. During the interactive sessions, participants were asked to have a quiz on Quizy and to have a brief understanding in child's right. After that, we explained and presented the slide to the participants. Also, at the end of the interactive sessions, we defined a small short video to conclude our topic. We had set a goal of at least 30 participants participating in the online interactive sessions. By targeting the goal, all of our group members actively promote these online interactive sessions on their social media such as Instagram. And we had reached the goal of having 44 participants in the interactive session. And now I will pass the floor to Yi Zhen.
Besides that, our goal is also to educate and raise awareness among university students and general public about child's rights. We will be conducting activities on Instagram by posting information posts and interact stories from week 5 to week 9. We also plan to publish at least 2 interactive stories and 2 informational posts on Instagram about child's rights on different topics such as child abuse, child marriage, child labor, and so on every week. We aim to gain 60 likes for every informational post. Good news, we had accomplished all of our goals. We almost got 60 likes for every informational post that we posted on Instagram, which means that we had successfully spread awareness about child's rights among our audience through our informational posts.
To accomplish our goal of educating the public on the issue of child abuse, we had organized a sharing session. After plenty of brainstorming to make the session more beneficial and fun, we agreed on carrying on a mini quiz session. The quiz was carried out at the beginning of the sharing session to give the viewers a little heads up about what the session is mainly going to be about. The quiz consisted of 8 basic questions about child rights violation and also precautionary methods to prevent the occurrence of child rights violation. Once the quiz was completed, one of our own teammate, Keerthna, who is me, carried on with the sharing sessions. The questions of the quiz was discussed in more depth manner and more information were given for the benefit of the viewers. To attract and keep the attention of the viewers, the slides were designed in a way filled with GIFs and adorable animation by the slides team. I also shared a little on the day of child abuse prevention in the hopes of motivating the viewers to carry out their responsibilities as a society on eliminating child maltreatment. The session was concluded with playing a 2-minute short video by UNICEF, the United Nations International Children's Emergency Fund. The video acted as a conclusion of the session as it briefly mentioned about every detail that was discussed in the session.
To accomplish the goal of creating awareness and spreading information regarding child's rights among general public and university students, the approach of posting informational posts and interactive stories on Instagram was chosen for knowledge dissemination. After discussion, the frequency of posting 2 informational posts and 2 interactive stories in a week was decided. Group members responsible for this activity were divided into 2 subgroups in charge of researching of child's rights-related information and designing of Instagram posts respectively. Information such as definition, ways of recognition, causes and effects, prevention method, and statistics of different forms of violation of child's rights, namely child emotional abuse, child neglect, child sexual abuse, child physical abuse, child labor, and child marriage was searched. Informational posts and stories relating to 1 to 2 mentioned topics were posted each week. For example, informational posts and stories regarding child sexual abuse and child physical abuse was posted in week 7. To attract readers' attention to the Instagram post, a good design of the post and good caption were needed. Canva was used to design our informational post and story, while Instagram captions that include facts about the topic which relate to the information provided in the Instagram post was written, and emojis were used to call attention to the important text within the captions. Researching for topic-related information was done a week before the date of posting, and designing of the posts and captions were done 2 days before the posting date, so that the time to post on Instagram will not be delayed.
For question 3, despite the project being quite successful, few challenges were faced but because we had contingency plans from the start, we proceeded with our plan B instantly so the whole process was carried out smoothly. One main challenge we encountered was the platform to conduct our online interactive section. We first decided to use Microsoft Teams as our main platform, while Google Meets as our backup platform. However, we then figured that it's hard to invite all the participants into a team group as some of the participants were not students from Help University. Thus, we decided to switch to using Google Meets as our platform to conduct our online interactive session. The second challenge that we faced was the platform for the interactive quiz. During the creation of the online quiz, we faced some challenges, including some breakdowns and failure to display the quiz properly. In the end, we decided to go with Quizzes, which is another platform similar to Kahoot. A separate quiz was created at the new platform, and the test run was smoother compared to when we used Kahoot, which explains the sudden switch of platforms. Now, I'll let Kah Xuan to continue with the question.
The third challenge that we encountered was the problem with playing the background music before the online event starts. Initially, we have prepared a series of uplifting songs to cheer the participants up as well as to avoid boredom while waiting for the event to commence, but there was a problem with the audio, resulting in ear-piercing echoey sounds, so the initial idea of playing music was cancelled last minute. However, most participants only started to join the session at 2 p.m. sharp, so the background music was not entirely necessary. The last challenge that we faced was fixing the schedule for designing and posting our weekly informational posts on Instagram. We need to post at least 2 posts weekly on addressing different topics. However, we have other quizzes and assignments ongoing, and we need to cooperate with everyone's time to design together. Since we have a total of 6 members for the Instagram group, we then decided to separate ourselves into 2 groups to take turns sourcing information and designing posts. As such, we will improve our efficiency and make sure we design our posts ahead to post on Instagram on time.
For the question 4, we have concluded some suggestions for the future event planning. Future interactive forums are suggested to invite specialists or authority figures such as child psychologists, counselors, and so on to the forum to give a speech or informative sharing. Hence, the validity and reliability of the lectures and information would be more reasonable and well-grounded. Besides, participants are unable to rely and be convinced by the information and details of the lecturers. Whether the event would be held as casual or formal form, a rehearsal of the interactive forum should be held before the interactive events, as there are numbers of technical testing procedures that are encouraged to be tested and familiarized. The procedure can be mic soundcheck, background music soundcheck, presentation of slides, test run the whole procedure, and so on. Therefore, committees of the events might have a better idea of the procedure of the events and technical operations. Persons in charge of the events are suggested to keep in touch with the person in charge of the society in order to keep the information and the procedures up to date. Thus, the person in charge of the society is able to provide support and suggestions to the productivity of the events. So now Hong Chi will elaborate for the suggestions of the IG posting.
For the future, since the IG post needs to gain more attention from the public in a limited time, the person who is in charge of posting the information to the IG page needs to choose a specific peak period that most of the IG user is able to view the content that we created, like maybe posts after lunch hour between 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. Besides, the content of the posts that we promote on social media needs to be simplified in the future. The reason why the content needs to be more streamlined is that very few people in today's society will stay in a knowledgeable post for more than 1 minute. So the graphics and the tests promoted must be attracted and educated to the public within 1 minute. In general, if we need to use social media to promote activities or raise social awareness in the future, we need to pay more attention to these improvements. The design is already very good, but the content still needs to be more streamlined for every individual that will dispose to get to the points easily and quickly. So thank you for everyone to listening for our presentation.